Good evening and welcome back to Ipswich. And it does always feel like in this new format that it has been a little while. And I guess it has been a little while. And I was catching up just now with the schedule. And we've kind of done okay in the last episode. We lost that cup semi-final. But I think that I got that all wrong. Then followed what I thought was a very good draw against Tottenham. I thought we were the better team against Tottenham and deserved more, I think. But we got a 1-1 draw and then beat West Ham comfortably. We're going to play a team that I have actually, in my history of FM, I have never been drawn as a Premier League club against a Vanarama National League team. So this is new ground for me. And I'm going to quickly go through my thinking about Banbury very briefly. I don't really know how to approach this. Everton will follow, and then the semi-final second leg of Manchester United if we get there. Because I am, and I've made this decision. Good evening, Saul. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. And I have made this decision that I am going to take every game seriously. And in fact, I got a comment in my Villa save from somebody called English Patriot, who is very impressed that somebody is actually daring to actually take every game seriously and not to just load some meta tactic and go through season after season and just buy the best players. So this is how I enjoy playing the game, and I do apologise if people want to see 300-mile-an-hour gaming. I do apologise. It's probably not the stream for you. But we are going to... I mean, I do want to pick your brains, guys, because Banbury... Let's look at Banbury. We know that how they're going to play. They're going to be playing direct counter-attack. And this is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, system to break down. When they have these three central defenders deep, they have the line of four in front of them. It's an extremely difficult system to break down, and they're going to just try and stop us from playing. On the other hand, we have a very strong team, and I can't play. News coming in is that Mane has come in, but he is having a rest for a couple of days. I told you things like this would happen. Diamonde is in, but he isn't really fit enough to start, and I don't want to put these boys in. He's just come back from the African nations thing, and I don't want to put them in when they're not ready to play. So I have got this young centre back, and we need to protect him a little bit, which is why I've gone into the 4-3-3, and the anchor at the back can at least give them an outlet. I'm not sure I want him playing as a ball-playing defender. Atom is probably better to do that job. And he probably is going to have to cover at left back from this point on because of the two centre-backs who've come in. I've put a Mazzala in there because we do have a winger on attack and I don't want him isolated. So I want him getting up into these channels here to support the winger on the right-hand side. And we're going to have a wing back on attack down this side. And this is where, looking at my front five, if you want to call it, they are an extremely good front five. Also, other news is that Morstat is on the bench. Finally, we've got Morstat back, which is also good news. Valesco, I also believe, is on the verge of returning. He could actually play for in the second half, so it might be wise to put him in on the bench instead of Arribas, to rest Arribas. So really, my thinking is that I have two ways to play this. And I either attack the hell out of them, push the line up, high press, higher line, and really go for it. And they will sit back and make it as difficult as they possibly can for us. Or I drop back. I surprise them a little bit. And I drop back, trying to entice them out a little bit. And then that will give my forwards a little bit more room within which to work. And then I don't know about counter-pressing, not in the mid-block. It's probably not a good idea. We're going to counter-attack in this way of playing. We want to keep possession, but I want to zip it around a little bit. And the reason why I've got this on here is because I forget his name out on the right-hand side, who's an advanced playmaker on the right-hand side for them, is their player in form. So I want to keep it away from him as much as possible. If we can keep him quiet, we're going to win comfortably. I've taken off work ball into the box because it kind of slows things down. And so therefore, we're just going to play at a higher tempo, try and take our chances, be clinical where we can, and then be more expressive. I want them to try and outdo their opponents. So I'm kind of like, I'm thinking this is probably the way to go. I just don't want, I've never played a Vanarama team in the history of me playing the game, I don't think. And I just don't want to be caught out 1-0 and lose this cup tie and be really embarrassed. I think if we're patient enough, we will win the game. And sorry, you've inspired me to play the same way as you do. I used to be the low to meta tactic, and I'm enjoying this because in the Villa save especially, I'm actually adapting tactics. And against Rotherham, I played in a completely different way than I played against Crystal Palace, and I'm enjoying this. Everything is based on who we're playing. And we should win this quite comfortably. I will be very surprised if I lose this. Just need to keep an eye on Kinnear. Diamonde can come on 60 minutes and have 30 minutes. It'll be the first time that we've seen him. Just looking at transfer news. this Mutsar Sadat, who's a good young player, he's on a work permit now, and going out with just Melvin Emmanuel, and he's actually made a fuss because he's just discussing his contract, and I demoted him to the under-21s. I didn't even bother answering that. So I think this is how I'm going. I have no idea if I'm doing it right. There's very little information in the data hub for me to go on. The only thing I have is that this guy Fitzhugh is in extremely good form. Allen is probably a good call, but I think he's in the reserves, so nothing I can do about that now. I'm going to type mark this, but I'm going to just take my assistant's advice here. He wants me to play attacking. I can understand why, but I'm not going to begin the game. And we're just going to sit in the mid-block. He didn't tell me push higher, so we'll sit in a mid-block. I've got a higher line because I trust them. But it might be, if it gets a little bit harum-scarum, then I'm going to have to drop the line if there's too many balls going over the top. But we have 3 in midfield, which means that we can do that. And once again, it's because I'm playing the Villa save. And I always thought that this actually adjusted between saves, but it doesn't. Strange. I always thought it did, but we've turned it off now anyway. We did have a good win last time, but I think we're favourites here for a reason. And I don't expect very often, but I do expect of them today. The other way I was actually thinking of it, as I said, was play high up. We could also adjust the passing directness and just tell them, look, get the ball to our forward players who we know are good players, and let them do the job. I want to keep possession, though. I want to keep the ball away from them. I don't think I need to do anything else apart from Fitzhugh. I want him tight marked, and if he's got a weaker foot, we're going to put him onto his right foot. He's the boy who is going to cause us problems, if anyone. And let's go and see what happens, because I have never been in this situation before. And if I lose this game, I'm just going to shut everything down, totally embarrassed, and think, oh my God, but we should be comfortable winners here. You can see immediately they've got this 5 at the back with 2 in midfield, and I just want them... I need to pull them out of position a little bit and get them higher up the pitch, and then there's room in behind. That's the plan at the moment. I do have the option of going more direct if the shorter passing doesn't work, but definitely with a higher tempo, because I do suspect that they're going to try and tight mark man-to-man stuff at the back. They're not going to allow me space to operate. Oh, the lovely cross. Nobody got on the end of that. But I think it should be comfortable. I'm probably worrying over nothing. We do have... I've got a pretty strong team out, really. Apart from Kinnear at the back, I've got a pretty strong team out. We're not... Oh, we've hit the bar. We're not... saying we're going to put the youth team out here and play against them. It's just about managing the space, and I just have... What I've got to do is make sure that we are managing the space properly, and that we are, when we're creating, or in spaces where we can create, that we've got enough bodies forward, enough players supporting, and we're actually... Cleggy, it has been a while. How are you? Good to see you. It's been a little while. But at the moment, of course, it's going to be all Ipswich. The question is, at what point are we going to score? And I'm hoping that Atom might get us a goal today at the near post. He does owe me a goal, Atom, and hopefully he'll get one today. But yeah, I mean, they are going to sit back, and that's pretty much what I'm seeing at the moment. And all I have to do is make sure I can bring them out. But it might be. And they got a red card already. They've got a red card. That's not going to help them much. I think I might go up to attacking very shortly. That was a poor free kick. I'm going to sack my set piece coach. I think I might go attacking very shortly because they're a man short. I need to check on how they are playing, but there's no need to panic at the moment. They're just going to have the two up front now. That's how they're playing. We just need to, I think, just keep doing what we're doing. We're going to break the deadlock at some point. Well, they are. But there's their direct counterattack. That's not going to hurt us. I think it's just a question now of when we score, not if we score. As I said, I've never actually had to play a Vanarama team as a Premier League club in the third round of the Cup. It's totally new. And you'd expect that you'd just absolutely hammer them. But these games are always tricky. They're never going to lie down for you. Unless you get a couple of goals, they're not going to lie down. And the longer they stay in the game, the harder they're going to make it for you. But we're doing all right. I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing at the moment. Apart from the fact that there might be one or two more. There's Atom. I did say he owed me a goal. He's just too good for them. Interesting that we've got the goal from a set piece, but it's a goal. And I don't care how they go in. I never do. As long as they go in. And Atom is way too good for them. And funnily enough, I almost sold Atom. I was on the brink of thinking maybe it's time for you to leave and we cash in on you. We brought him into the club for next to nothing, and I was thinking we could cash in and make 12 million or so, but I think he is going to be a very good player at some point in his career, and we just, I think, need to stick with him for a while. At the moment, good. And keep going, boys, and we don't need to be more than positive. We need to keep an eye on these direct counterattacks. It's going to be up the middle now. So it could be that I could go attacking and put my other wing back on attack. And but at the moment, it doesn't matter, because we have all the ball, we have all the chances, and there's space opening up. And I'm not quite sure what Alande was doing there. He had a Hyde Park in front of him to run into, and just headed it back to them. And if you don't mind my saying, you're looking well. I have been on a weight loss program, to be honest, and I do feel fit. I've lost actually now 10 kilograms, and I do feel fit. I do feel healthy, and so yeah, thank you for saying, Cleggy. Hello, offensive. Hello, offensive. How are you? This is going to be a rout. I mean, they didn't help their cause by having a player sent off in the first couple of minutes. And I don't feel like I need to do anything at all now. Just be wary of these long balls down the middle. Playing with the three in midfield, we're going to mop up anything that's headed down. It's how many can my forwards score. Absolutely fine this end. Offensive, very fine. I don't think that's particularly good grammar, but I I think I got away with it. I got a couple of players in the team coming back from illness and from injury, so they're probably not going to be up to speed. What I am concerned about is the shots on target ratio. So I am going to just tell them now, work the ball at the box, get closer, take your time, basically, is what I'm saying. Don't rush it, and goals will come. Timon is running them ragged down that left-hand side. He is having a good game down that left-hand side. Atom, of course, having scored, is having a good game. But not too impressed as yet with the forwards. But I think that's because I gave them the liberty to just be expressive, to take shots whenever they wanted to. I think I need to take that liberty away from them now. That looked like a penalty to me, ref. But he's given a goal kick. I don't really know much about Banbury, except that they are a physically strong team. You'd expect that from a lower league team. They're not as good as us in the air, which surprised me. And they have now... Oh, they're playing without caution. Oh, playing with more caution. Of course they're going to. They've got 10 men. And if we can just be more clinical, just another couple of goals and the floodgates will open. But just work it into the box now, boys. That's kind of what I want. At some point they'll slip up. It's a very hard system to deal with this, and I don't know what you guys do when you're faced with this system. I find they can play it past your press without any bother at all, because they've just got so many, like 3 defenders plus 2 central mids. You can't press that, and so it's very easy for them to play out of defense, play around your press. Maybe if I was playing with 2 strikers, you could press them. And that might be a thought for the second half, is to put another striker up, go into a 4-2-4, and try and do it that way. At the moment, we are not unlocking their defence. Oh, Atom almost did it again. So this is quite interesting. I knew FM was not going to give me an 18-0 win. I knew that was not going to happen. This is their cup final. Unfortunately, they've given themselves a handicap, but we've got to take advantage of that. And this is their cup final. They're going to give it everything they've got. So this is a very interesting experience for me. This save has been full of firsts, a lot of them, and this is no different. Josh Timon, oh, that's my other left back. That's my other left back. I don't have a left back now. This game is relentless. I'm gonna have to put Atom out there. And then I can either bring on Diamonde. I think I'm going to bring on Diamonde. I'm just going to give him a run out. And see how he gets on. He's not long off the plane. But hopefully he'll be okay. He's got probably 60 minutes in him. The other one is Mane, who of course came in and said that he wanted rest. So we had to give him a couple of days off. So these players, please give me a rest, because I've had to play 4 games in a month. So I'm struggling to break this system down. I haven't changed anything, of course, since so I'm taking responsibility for this. But while they're not attacking, doesn't bother me. It was another two-footed tackle there, I think. He was very fortunate there. So this is our first look at Diamonde. Just want to have a look at our passing stats. Are we actually controlling possession? We absolutely had all the ball. And there's that ball over the top. I'm not quite sure Atom can play as a wing back. But what I have to make some changes now because one of them needs to be attacking. So we'll go and make those changes. I think Alande has to be the attacking one now, and Silva, we'll just bring him down. And we'll focus our play up this side. I'd like to think that we can score goals against Banbury, but I don't know how your experience is with this, guys. Because good evening, Pedro. How are you doing? Does the game actually just lie down for you and when you're playing teams like this, or do you have to work for it? I think probably I need to get more bodies forward. I need definitely more bodies forward. We need to have enough of a presence in the box in the second half. Possibly need to push up as well. I need that second goal though first, and there it is. And finally we've got it. And I hope now the floodgates will open. We will push up in a more attacking manner in the second half and hopefully take them apart. Do we? I haven't seen that hint. What was said, Pedro? Tell me what was said. Because I've been saying all along, I don't believe it will happen. A QA job description for FM published today. Okay, not in the Football Manager website. What is a QA? Quality analyst? Yeah, quality assurance. See, that I also know that Sega have introduced their own Football Manager. And that was a little bit of a concern to me. As Sega is the parent company, them bringing out their own version of Football Manager was a little bit of a concern. And looking, actually telling people that they were going to give you free access to it and all this if you subscribe to them. And that was a little bit concerning. And yes, it did. You're right, Pedro. It did strike me as that. I've been saying for a long time that it's possible we won't see FM26, and I'm still sticking by that. It's now June the 4th, and we're getting nothing. And at least by now they should be keeping their audience engaged. And I don't know whether it's because they can't. They're not allowed legally to, because of licensing and stuff. I don't know. But I would have thought they would have at least kept us in the loop. So I've been saying for a while that there might not be one, but I might be wrong and I might be right. So keep going. We can get a result here. I think we should get a result here. They're a man down, but don't let your performance levels drop. Atom's a little bit Unsure about that instruction. Just have a look at the fact that 2 of them are already complacent. And let's go a little bit more attacking. So Missouri needs to go. Let's put him as a complete wing back on attack. And we won't do that. And in fact, I'm going to take both our focuses off, and we are going to counter-press them in the second half. I'm going to push the lines up now, and the Mazzala can go on attack. He will provide assistance down this right-hand side. So I got 6 players on attack now, and I think it's time to actually just go and attack them and to put this game to bed. Franco, can't ever say that name, Mastantueno. Franco's not playing particularly well. I'll have a word with him. Keep going, you've got the ability. It's possible he's just not getting the service. The rest of them, let's talk to Atom. Let's keep going. And now he's pleased. Franco with no face. Yeah. So really, we got to go and try and stamp our authority now. Especially, I mean, have they changed their system? I'm looking at 3 up top. No, there's still only 2. They've got one of these coming forward. And I don't think we probably need to do anything with him. I don't think it's an issue. And in fact, I don't think we need to be paying much attention. This is the worry, is that our shots on target is poor. We have 20 attempts, only 8 on target. Allowing them too much freedom was probably not a good idea. Since we've been working the ball into the box, we've got the 2 goals. But now we've just got to go for the jugular. And he's playing as a complete forward. It's the role he likes. But it might be time to bring on more stats soon, to give more stat. 30 minutes, back from injury. Top scorer, we've missed him. We've missed him a great deal. And they have not had a shot, and I would expect this. Especially as they're a man down. However, we haven't played as well as I would like to play. If this was a friendly pre-season, we'd be winning this 10-0. Or even more. But it's not a friendly pre-season. And they've put effort into it. And I always struggle with this 5 at the back with 2 DMs. Always struggle. I could go a little bit wider, but I don't think it's going to make much difference. You see, they've got 7 at the back, and that I've got 6 going forward now, so we should have enough bodies up there, and we've got another one. And maybe that's all I needed. Get more bodies forward. And we had 6 going forward then. Phil, am I enjoying version? I actually am. Hey, James, how are you doing? I'm enjoying it a great deal, and I see a lot of really nice animations, and this for me is what makes it. I noticed that you're doing some work on the crowd, which would be really cool, because I'm playing in YouTube. I do miss having that crowd, the atmosphere, and I do believe you're going to try and make that even better. So that will be an interesting project you're undertaking. And training, though, although I've got it loaded, haven't been getting involved with training, except to put in match reviews. But that's the only thing that I've actually been doing. So I don't know yet. Possibly we'll see players developing better. I might notice players' development a little more. And I do understand that your assistant manager can do it and it will still work. So now we are taking them apart. So yes, I am enjoying it a lot. I think the players move better. I think the whole animation looks better, feels better than the vanilla, and it's got to be an improvement. You've done an amazing job, Pedro. Absolutely amazing. Stadium project as well. All good stuff, and improving the game is a great thing, and you've done an amazing job. Take my hat off to you guys, especially as you do it as a hobby. And now we are starting to take them up. What a wicked cross that was. It's hit the crossbar. And again, like, that cross came out of nowhere, and what a wicked curl it had on it. And I know you've worked on crosses. With more than 500 million worth of debt. Don't know how Man United's able to spend. The point is, I think, James, is that they are desperately trying to sell people like Garnacho, Hoyland. I know those two definitely are going out. It wouldn't surprise me if Diallo left, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. I think they really deep down wanted to take the 100 million for Fernandes. I would have sold him personally, but I don't know what stopped them. I think Fernandes, I don't think, wanted to take his family. It was more about lifestyle than anything else for Fernandes. So I think they're going to offload players, and hopefully the squad is going to be very trimmed down. There's no Europe, so they don't need a massive squad. The most they're going to play is 45, 46 games. So there's no need for a massive squad. And if they do well, then they can build that squad up. If they don't qualify for Europe next season, then it's one player at a time. Because they don't need to do anything more than that. And I would say to the board, aim for a top 10 finish. That's pretty much will make me happy. That's an improvement. And already the players coming in, Cunha and Waymo, I think they're great signings. I really do. I think they're lovely signings. And I'm going to make some changes here. Atom needs to come off. I don't know who I've got out on the left-hand side now, though, but it doesn't matter. That's a penalty, ref. He's given it as well, has he? I'm hoping to see some players come through to Newcastle with him Friday. They do need to sign players, but I also think that they are in the same boat. They have to sell. If we don't, you're welcome, Pedro. Some famous YouTube think our mod doesn't make a difference. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it, Pedro. And I play, as you can see, in comprehensive highlights. It'll only make a difference if you play more highlights. And I know most of the famous YouTubers only play in key highlights, so they're not going to see it. But the Aston Villa save, when I play my games, I play in full match. So I see every little change that's gone on. So I'm going to go and make some changes now, rest some boys. And actually, Mastantuono, it did get better. He's on a 6.8 now there, but his shooting then was terrible. Kinnear's done well, and so I don't need to do anything with him. Diamonde's doing well. Atom is the one I need to change. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough call. But I don't think, really, in terms of tiredness, I'm going to bring more stat on now, because I think we need to give him some game time now that he's back. It would be nice to see him get on the score sheet. I'm probably... I've got this young winger here who might be worth a shot. But what I've got to figure out is this left back. And I'm actually going to try Grossabal. I know he's not a left back, but he's got to be able to switch over. I'm going to play him as an inverted wing back, and that will help him to just switch over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move one of these midfielders. They haven't done any work at all. So I'm going to move one of these midfielders up. And he can stay as the anchor. Dominguez can come back and play Volante. He's going to play on attack. And then we'll still have 3 coming into midfield. We can still overload these areas, so that works for me. And then what I will do, I don't need to do anything here. We just need to keep doing what we're doing. And I don't even know why I'm worrying about them. Silva possibly needs to come off. Do I play that young boy? No, I'm going to play Winkler on the left hand side. And that's it for now. I mean, I don't know why, apart from the fact that they don't get to see enough of games. And I've responded to someone who made a very nice comment today in the Villa save, that it's actually nice to see someone treating it as if it's real football, by looking at the opposition players, looking at the way they play. And I always used to play the game that way. And because I enjoy playing the game that way, that's why I see it. That's why I see the changes that you've made. So, yeah, big for me, Pedro. Huge changes for me. We're kind of looking... We've not many signs for 3 transfer windows. Don't they have to sell someone first? Newcastle really have to sell someone first, I think. I'm not sure, but I certainly think that was the situation last summer. Maybe it's different this summer. But I think they should, at some point, get their checkbook out. There are areas of the pitch at Newcastle where they need to find players. Right wing is one. And they need to also probably look for a left back. Unfortunately, people underestimate. It's absolutely right. And not only the data hub. I wonder how many people actually go and watch the opposition's last game. And I've started doing that again. And I sat through this morning, I sat through Rotherham's. I was playing Rotherham for Villa. And I watched comprehensive highlights of Rotherham's last game that they played against Gillingham. And it was kind of a surreal experience because... I mean, this is real football. They would study the video of everybody. And looking at the way that they played, it gave me an idea or two, which I was then able to confirm in the data. And I think that's probably how people should play. I mean, although I'm not telling people how to play. And I think younger audiences don't appreciate it. It's the older generation that appreciate the data hub and because we remember it basically as it wasn't about graphics. I started playing in 2D. It was about data. It was a spreadsheet game, and I think it's the older generation who've stuck to that. You're right, Pedro. Only hardcore players. Yeah. There are a few, because I've been getting some very good feedback to the Villa save. And so there are a few old diehards that are still left. This is not pleasing me, but we have got an XG of 5, but I think we're underperforming a little bit. Haven't seen much highlights lately. So I wanted to have a look at Morstat, but we haven't really had a highlight. I hope he can get on the score sheet. We've missed him badly, I think. Boy who came through the youth system, as did Finkgraf, who's injured at the moment. Both of those came through the youth system at the same time, and both of those now have established themselves within the squad. And both are becoming decent players. So they will have cost us nothing at the end of the day. Now, I think at the moment, Morstat is my number 1. Followed by Winkler. Despite the fact that Winkler is a wonder kid, Morstat's outdoing him. And I think Morstat is number 1 in the club at the moment. And that wonder kid's got some work to do. Miggy Almer on for 11.5. Is he on the way out, James? Which is why they definitely will need a right winger. Almiron was out of favour last year. Jacob Murphy had a great season. Already gone. All right. Jacob Murphy had an awesome season. And is he going to be the number 1? I don't think he's good enough to be the number 1 out there. But what a good squad player I think he would be. I still think they need to get a really good right winger in there. I think Jacob Murphy is still young, isn't he? So he'd be quite happy to sit in that squad as a squad player. He'll get game time. Let's make it 5, boys. Let's make this score respectable. Their shooting has been really poor. And I don't know whether it's the tempo, whether they're just taking snapshots. Let's just lower the tempo a little. See if they take more time over it in the last 5 or 6 minutes. A left back as well, James. Someone you need is a left back. I mean, Murphy had an outstanding season. I enjoyed watching Murphy. And in a sense, if he is cast down to being the backup winger, then he would have a grievance, and an understandable grievance. But I don't know why he played so well, but he was outstanding, in all fairness. Well, they've tried to put it about, but all that happened was they got someone sent off, and we're in now. Come on, Winkler. Oh, he's missed another one. And Morstat, a simple little pass inside, Morstat would have just tapped that in. Murphy was really made into a backup. Yeah, that's, I think, what he should be. He certainly get a good amount of game time. But I also think Newcastle need a first-team right winger. I think they've got pretty much else covered. Apart from left back. They definitely need a left back. Winkler is not having a great game, is he? He's very wasteful. Yeah, for sure, James. And you can't, unless he comes in early, you can't start the season with a new signing, and not unless he's in very, very early. Been very wasteful in front of goal, this team today. Again, very wasteful. Nice to have Garosibal back. Another one coming back after injuries. We went through injury after injury after injury. It's always nice to reach the point where they come back. Yeah, but look who we are playing. We're playing against Banbury. So, like, 40 attempts, but only 14 on target. That doesn't please me. That does not make me sit here and feel happy. I'm just going to say it was a good win, but it doesn't make me feel happy at all. They should have 40 shots, 14 on target. Nah, I'm not buying that. They've got to do better than that. I'll take responsibility. For the way that I set up in the first half, because I did not know what to expect. And then B, for telling them, just have a shot when you feel like it. He did well, Diamonde. I don't think anyone needs praising. Not after that. I'm a very hard manager. Very, very hard manager. And that was their cup final, though, so bless them. But this is going to be tougher. We have to go and play Everton in a week. And this is going to be a little bit tougher. Diamonde is going to have to come straight in, despite being a recent transfer. He's going to have to come straight into the team. And I'm just thinking, what would my best team be? Meslier, probably. And I think Mazzori trumps Garosibal, and he's played a few games now. And then Diamande, is he a left or right-sided player? Prefers to be on the right. So Diamande on the right will be a ball-playing defender, and just put him on a standard defender. And then we're looking at Mane. Mane, who I think has got, so he could play on the left, and that would be my back two. But at the moment, Mane, I would prefer to go with Atom, then Timon, and then Finkgraf is still going to be out for a little while, so Atom probably needs to cover for Timon now and again. Alex Scott probably comes in as a centre mid here. Against Everton, probably a centre mid on support. But we'll tell him to get further forward. And then, I'm not sure, it's Grembach. Probably João Gomez at the base. And then either Dominguez or Makengo as the other one. And then we've got Morstadt back up front. I could pick anyone's of these. Winkler didn't play well. Silva did a better job. And anyone, Allende, is probably the best pick for the left wing. And we're starting to build a team that looks a little bit better. That was probably my first team, but this will have to be changed before the next game. I don't feel the need to review how we played against Banbury. I thought it was poor. And then that's pretty much what my thinking was. There's a lot of decent centre-backs available. And I was thinking of possibly at some time in the future switching to a 3-at-the-back system. Was thinking about that. There's a lot of good central defenders, and we are building up some good central defenders now. Glad Diamonde was successful. He's a brilliant player. I think, without a doubt, he's one of the best players we have now. It's just a case of, is he going to settle? And hopefully he will. Both of them, him and Mane, have to settle quickly. Because, I mean, that's one of the things about the signings that Manchester United have made. There's no settle-in period. They know the Premier League, and they don't need 6 months to be able to settle in and familiarise themselves. They know the Premier League. Everton create good. They are good at marking, and here's another one of these. And it does tell, what this tells me immediately is that they are going to press hard. Because they're good at marking, it's almost like their press is going to be like we saw in the Aston Villa game, where you're going to have this one-on-one press. And that's so difficult to break down. It's almost like you need to play players who are brilliant off the ball. Stretch them wide as you can. So yeah, FN3 centre-back tactics better against 4-4-2. I mean, I do like. I've played with a 3-at-the-back tactic. I called it the Wonder Wing Backs. We played with it in Brazil, in the Journeyman, and it was so good. I loved it. So I was thinking we could go to a 3-at-the-back sometime in the future. And this is I know this kind of team, because they're just going to be patient, play the ball around, and then they're going to slot these little through balls. And these are just distractions, these wing backs. But apart from having 12 at the back, I'm not quite sure what else they've got going for them. This report is just a very general guide, because it may not reflect what the first team is like, but it does give you a little bit of a general guide, as does this comparison. We're not getting the other comparison, which is, quite frankly, a little bit disappointing on behalf of my scout. And I go quickly and have a look at the analyst report. And 4-3-3 is a -3. They don't like a 4-3. They don't like a 4-3-3. 4-2-3-1 is a -4. They don't like a 4-2-3-1 either. I think we'll stay with the 4-3-3. I think gives us defensive solidity. Chance against, though, is 102 minutes. The 4-2-3-1 would be better. It's more risky, but the teams are creating a chance against every 54 minutes. I think I don't know. Shall we go to a 4-2-3-1? We need to create chances. Let's go back to the 4-2-3-1 and try and create some chances. So looking at that, probably better. And like I said, they're going to be very effective with through balls. The assists, 4 of them, and those are probably from the corners of the penalty area rather than out wide. And the assist types are actually 5 from corners. So 5 of those 10 are corners. Short passes 2, which will be of these. And then crosses 5. So it's not prolific. Through balls 6. There's 1 through ball from there. Team playing high up the pitch, I'm guessing. And then assists and goals conceded, most in the penalty area. 9 from corners and 8 from through balls. So that doesn't strike me as anything too difficult. I wonder why I haven't got the comparison report. And they've got 2 complete wing backs. So maybe they are going to be a nuisance up here, leaving space behind here. We can check that. We'll check their defending. I mean, I know you guys are probably going off to make food or getting bored now. But I want to play the game like every game matters. It's just have a look at the pitch tilt. I mean, we're almost there, but not quite. We're still edging on fewer passes against, and that's good, but fewer passes for. We're not quite there. We need to have more passes in the final third, but Everton are struggling. Lots of passes against them and fewer passes in the final third. They are really struggling. And passing dynamics. Yeah, we're very similar teams, actually. We're actually better than them possession-wise. They infrequently win the ball. Reliable in possession. They're kind of on the border. Whereas we are frequently winning the ball, but we give it away a lot. And defensive efficiency, we're pretty much the same, I would say. Everton are just probably a little bit better a defensive team than we are. I don't really think that I'm picking up much here. So low number of opposition. I mean, that I want to check in the Premier League stuff. So I'm not really unhappy about what I'm seeing. I want to go to the Premier League stats, and I want to have a look at the possession. And neither of us are there. We're in 12th and Everton are in 13th. I did say, looking at that chart, we're very similar in terms of the way we keep the ball. So maybe trying to outpass them is not going to be a good idea. But I also want to look at goals from crosses. Cross completion, we are good. Suggests to me we should be happy playing wider. And Everton are not bad either. 17% is not bad. 19% is even better. Crosses completed. Everton are slightly better at the number of crosses. Goals from corners, similar. And the defending ones I want to look at more than anything else. Clean sheets, for example. Everton have had more clean sheets than we have. I guess that's because we've been playing with only 2 central defenders, and one of those wasn't a central defender. So hoping that we're going to do a lot better. Everton have made more blocks, which suggests that they are going to sit deep, get players behind the ball, do that man-to-man marking that I kind of said they would, and just wait for the opportunity to break forward. And possession 1, we do better than Everton. So do that. What I don't know from the information is where they win their possession, and that's unclear. We could have a look at Everton's passes per defensive action. Everton are doing better than we are. We are bottom. We haven't been defending very well at all. Hopefully with a better defense. So it does I'm not really convinced. I know where Everton are going to do their press. Are they going to press high up? But there is somewhere I can go. Luckily, to go and have a look. What might tell me is if I go to... And they beat Manchester United 6-0. What? Oh no, they lost to Manchester United 6-0. And we have to play Manchester United after them. And we lost 4-2. If I go to the player stats and go to, let's say, defending... They're not massive numbers. You'd expect the wing-backs, complete wing-backs, to be doing that. If they were pressing as well, I'd expect these numbers to be much higher than they actually are. Oh, this is Manchester United, isn't it? Everton defending. Again, yeah, they're not... They seem to be, to me, to press high up the pitch. Because these numbers, if they were pressing lower down, these numbers would have to be higher. So I'm guessing that they press high up the pitch. And they play a little bit like Crystal Palace. So what they will do is that they'll have 3 players up here. And then they'll have a gap. They'll have the 2 DMs sitting on the halfway line. The 3 front players will press here, trying to force my goalkeeper to go long. And that's why I kind of feel like we need to have 3 in midfield, because in order to beat that press, usually my goalkeeper will go long. Then I've only got 2 defensive midfielders who are not available to pick up the ball. That is what worries me, and that is why I might have to go back to a 4-3-3. I'm not actually going to try and outpass them. And we are going to pass into space, and we're going to try and focus down the flanks. Because I'm aware. And we are going to go back to low crosses. I'm aware that they have 2 complete wing backs. I'm not going to counter press against the Premier League team. And I think I'm going to sit in my mid block. I'm undecided about whether or not we're going to play with a higher line or a standard line. I will have a look later at that, but that's what I'm going to do. Andy, good to see you, my friend. Have you declared summer with a t-shirt. I actually put a t-shirt on today just to see, because you know I'm losing this weight, Andy. I just wanted to see if I put a t-shirt on, does the front of the t-shirt match the back now? And that's why I've still got this t-shirt on. It's not exactly summer weather, but I don't know. I've still got a few kilos to lose, I think. Maybe 2 or maybe even 3. Still got a couple of kilos to lose. The transfer deadline is coming up in a week, and I've still got 43 million, and I need probably a midfielder. I don't need a forward, and I don't need a winger, and we've done a lot with the back lineup. Maybe a wing back who can play on both sides. If I can find one of those, that would be nice. So let's have a look at let's look for wing backs. Someone who could play on both sides would be nice. Possibly, and he's a bit old, but he's pretty good player. Can also cover on the left wing. I'd say he's decent. His defensive ability might be compromised by the anticipation and concentration, but decent as an attacking wing back. This one screams out at me a little bit more, but he's on loan and injured because he's younger. But he's more of a supporting wing back. And then we have Elias Bohm, German. Cool price, 22 years old. That's the kind of player we're looking for. Probably, yeah. We could probably do him as a wing back on support. There's nothing wrong with him as a wing back on support. His technique isn't great for his crossing or his dribbling. But he's 22. We could work on his technique. And then we've just got younger boys. Paul O'Reilly from Brighton. He can't play both sides. And that's it. That's all they found for me. This guy, Elias Bohm, does look like a decent player. His composure's not very good, but can't have everything for that kind of money. I think he's probably quite decent. We'll pop him on the short list. And if I go to the short list, I have got a couple of players already on the short list. Defenders wise, most of these are central defenders, while we were looking for central defenders. In terms of attackers, I think he needs to come off my shortlist now. Someone we were looking at 2 years ago. Probably a bit old, I think he is. And then midfield, which is I'm mostly interested in. There's a number of players. And this guy I'm very interested in. He's Lusa. I know him. He's 28 years old, but he's a very good player. And he would be for 6 million. He would be. Oh, he's already gone, is he? He's gone to Bournemouth. So that's a bit of a shame, because he would be a very good player. El Canus is also a good attacking mid. He's a playmaker, can play as a deep line playmaker at the back, can also play in central midfield. This boy for 40 million would be an absolute steal. I think 23 years old. I think he would be a steal. It would mean we couldn't get the couldn't get both of them. And then the other one I was looking at is this this French boy, I think he is. Yeah, French boy. He is very expensive. I know FN, but I think he would probably be the best player in the club, especially in midfield. I don't think he will be that great, but I don't think he's going to be that bad. And James, you know, I know the kind of wing back that I'd like, but I just simply don't have the money to bring in that kind of wing back. So in order to afford Canus and Bohm, I'm going to have to sell someone because I only have 43 million. Unless I do it a little bit on the never never for both of them. We'll have a think about that. Well, no, we don't want to go. I know what I'm looking for. Winkler showing promise, but he's not there yet. Sadat is coming in. How much am I losing? Doesn't seem to be a lot. And I mean, he's not great, but I think he's one for the future. He's been in very, very good form. And I don't rate him, to be honest. And I do think that he's one for the future, not one for now. Another one who plays on the wing but can't cross. I think I prefer him as an attacking mid in the future. He's got to work on these things. He's got a lot of development mentally to do. He's off the ball, his composure, his concentration needs a ton of work. So he's not first team stuff. He just comes into the team as and when we're playing Banbury. And not during games against Everton or whatever. Some more players here. I don't know where they play. Winger. Don't need wingers at the moment. Probably will do one day. But not yet. But nothing else is jumping out at me. Another central defender. There's plenty of them coming in. Nordin is another winger. I'm really not looking for a winger. I have Silva and Winkler who play in that position. Masengo sounds like a midfielder. He's probably a very good player, but again, his price tag is a little pricey. I'm going to actually shortlist him because I will have to bring one midfielder in. And he would be very high up in my thoughts. Not great. Concentration again. And bravery, not great. So, but compared to what we have and what we can afford. And the other thing I might have to do is to look at players who are lower down in this list, but I don't really have time. Stan, he's a forward, so not for me. I'd love to have a look at the draw, but it's a long one, so we'll skip it. Watford, oh, that's the team I test everything with. Watford. And let's move on to Everton. Let's start getting my brain into gear regarding Everton. Simeone. Not for me. I do have enough players up front at the moment. I just want them to develop. I really don't want to make too many signings. That's the other thing that I decided I'm not going to do, is to make too many signings. There's a boy who would do a good job. and his mentals are not astonishing, but they're constant, and technicals are the same. I'm not seeing poor concentration or poor composure. I'm not seeing any one of them that's poor, and his physicals are decent. So I mean, he would be, for me, he'd be a good player, because everything is constant. There's nothing bad in there. I'm not for under 3 stars. I don't trust my scouts, to be honest. To be honest, James, that's why I look in very great detail at the attributes. And the thing is about the position that we are in now, I'm not going to be signing £100 million quality technical players. I got to look for players like this who are good at everything, not brilliant at everything, but the mentals are solid all the way down. The physicals are solid all the way down. They're not brilliant, but at least there's nothing that you'd say, oh God, composure of 8, decisions 4. There's nothing that is poor. Even his dribbling is 13, his first touch is 13, his technique is 13. They're not poor. The best players in the Premier League average 14 to 14.5. So he's not a bad player. He's a good player. And if we have a look at his report, the current international, he's got good anticipation. If you bring in a lot of revenue for the club, he's consistent. He's normal. But he does have a competitive streak, which I don't mind. We probably need to be winning the ball a little bit more. And transfer value of 0. I'm not quite sure how that works out. When's his contract up? In June. So we could get him in June for nothing. And I don't know if that would be a good thing or a bad thing. But I think maybe we don't want to sign him now. But we want to wait until March. And then start thinking about him in March. That would probably be the best thing, and getting him in for free. Is a decent defensive, deep-lying playmaker. I actually agree. Is that your go-to scout in your saves, the young lady? I don't think I have I? Is it? Have I got Helena Costa here as the chief scout? I can't remember, Andy. Who is my chief scout? Where am I going to find that? Yeah, it is. Helena Costa is my chief scout. So she's actually not performing as well as I'd like, but she is finding players that we can afford. And I can't ask her to do any more than that, I guess. But I do need to bring someone in. I think I'd like to bring in a defender rather than a midfielder. I'd like to bring in both. But I haven't got the money quite. Unless somebody leaves. I do know that Scott is wanted. Do I want to lose Scott? Not particularly. But he could bring in 50 million. And then finding a replacement for Scott would be fairly easy. I am a bit overloaded in midfield. If we look at the amount of options that I've got in midfield, I'm a bit overloaded. Scott is wanted and worth a lot of money. So I'd be tempted to actually sell him. To be honest, I'd be tempted. I would think about Everton. What are you doing? I don't think we'll worry too much about that. Fans are go nuts. If that's what we're bringing in. Helena Costa trying to... Oh no, that's the director of football, isn't it, making that signing. Again, I should be going through this. but I don't actually have the time to go through it at the moment. Although I do have to go through it because it's the 26th of January. Flynn Downs is an option. Good FM player, solid. Doesn't strike me as being... Some of his mentals are very poor. Still like this Elias Balm. I know you guys don't like him much. And I'm looking for somebody who can just cover both sides. And if he's willing to come in, his current contract, if he's willing to come in as a squad player, that'll be absolutely fine. Still looking at him as a real good option. Just a backup on both sides because we just keep getting injuries. Our wing-backs are getting injured all the time. And with Finkgraf out now for another 3 weeks, I'm struggling again. Wendell is decent. You could sign him for nothing now before other teams get him. And then if he doesn't work out, you can sell him. How can I sell him for nothing now, Andy? I don't quite understand that. If I try to sell him, if I try to sign him now, he's going to cost me money. In fact, a lot of money. If I try to sell it, sign him now. Let's go to midfielders. Masengo. He's going to cost me 45 million if I want to sign him in the January window. Is he the one? No, it's not him. What was Keita? But if I he's going to cost me 19 million now. More than 19 million now. But at the end of the season, he's going to cost... Yeah, Finkgraf came through the youth system here, Jack. He still developing, but I like him better than Timon now. He's coming on very nicely. So the other thing I could do is just can I make an offer of 0 to sign him at end of season? They're still going to want money at this point. Now, if I'm going to sign him for 90 million for end of season, I just might as well bring him in now. He is an option to bring in now for 19 million before other teams get their hands on him. And then I can bring in that wing back as cover, hopefully. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. Nivas, no, we're not doing that. He's going to be a world-class goalkeeper. We want him here. Fans are not going to be happy about that, but I fell out with him. So Scott is injured. Well, he'll be okay for the match. So I still haven't decided how best to play against Everton. I think to begin with, I'm going to go with the 4-2-3-1 just to get that extra body up against their defensive back line. I don't want to play as a complete wing back now, so we'll just put him as wing back on attack. We will put Silva on support, and then Alande can play as the winger on attack. Timon can play on support. We'll sort the midfield out in a minute. We'll play balanced, and I think the best way to play this is to maybe go shorter and at a higher tempo. The other way to play it is, as I said, if they're going to wing backs are going to be coming out at us, is to have a standard passing directness, because I sense that they're going to press me high up the pitch and not allowing me passing lanes. I do sense that, in which case I'm going to need to have a team that can slot in to the 4-3-3 very quickly. If I sense we're not winning the ball, if we're forced to go long and we're not beating their press, then we're going to have to go long. Then I'm going to have to go to the 4-3-3 to flood the midfield. I'm actually tempted, talking about that, I'm actually tempted to go to the 4-3-3. Let's not mess about. Go to the 4-3-3. We can now play with this kind of what the game is calling a route one. I don't see it as route one. And I do want us to work the ball into the box, despite the fact it's going to be crowded. And I just want to check the... I don't really want to look for an underlap when I've got an attacking winger. So we'll underlap on the left and ask Timon to cut inside with the ball. That's how we'll do that. So I think they're going to press us high up here. We need the anchor to give us another passing option. And then these two can pick up loose balls in midfield. They can be an attacking threat as well. So he can go on as a centre mid on attack. And I'm happy with this ball winner. And I think I'm happy with the team. So I am going to go with that. I know it's probably better to keep possession, but I think I may have to go more direct. If they're going to sit in front of the goal and just counter-attack, there's two ways to do it. You either keep possession, in which case it's going to be extremely difficult to break them down, or the other way is to go a little bit more direct. Allende, Velasco and Silva. It's possible that Silva needs to play because Morstadt is still unfit. So Silva can go up top. And I want him to play... Yeah, well, he can play as a complete forward. And probably Winkler will start the game. Starting to get some performances out of those two. Mane can come on the bench now. Garosibel. I still am struggling for a left back. So I'm thinking Atom needs to cover as the left back. So we are really struggling in terms of a left back. I don't want to... I probably need Kinnear. Although he's a right back, he's not much good to me. Mane might have to play as the left back. If the weak left foot, we can play him as an inverted full back or whatever. And the rest of the bench. Well, after all he did, Bajcetic is now kind of like out in the cold, which is a bit of a shame. Arribas should come onto the bench for Royal. See, I would sell Marin. If anybody comes in for Marin, I would sell him. Have Alex Scott on my Norwich team too. Yeah, he's good, but I'd sell him. I think I'm overloaded in midfield. Now, Chin, how are you? Espat look interesting. Yeah, So I think this forward line will develop together. They will become good once we've got Morstadt properly fit. I think they will develop together. What I'm really struggling is a fullback. And that's where my transfer where I should be looking in terms of transfers. So I wanted Grin back. Nah. Dominguez, no. Maybe Dominguez. João Gomez has to play. So maybe João Gomez is better up here. Might not be. Might not be. He's gone back a notch, João Gomez. Not rated by the scouts. But maybe Grenbach has to start in place of Scott. Because Scott has been a bit poorly. Every chance of walking away. Where are they in the league? 10th. Oh, if we get 3 points here, it'd be lovely. But I can't see it myself. We've been having too many good results. So, yeah, in terms of tactical setup, there's 2 ways to do this against that 5 at the back. That's if they're playing with a 5 at the back. We don't know if they're going to do that yet. If I look at the data hub and go to the analyst report, not the analyst, the analyst, what am I talking about? And then have a look at formations used. 5-3-2 is what they're going to use. They use 5 at the back all the time. So, and when they use the 5-3-2, they give away a -5 in terms of chances. So I think they are going to play in that 5-3-2, and the problem with that 5-3-2 is that they have 3 high up pressing to stop you passing it out from the back. They have the 2 defensive or 3 defensive midfielders then, who are just waiting on the halfway line for if you go long. And they're very difficult to break down because everybody goes back when they're defending, and it's very difficult system to play against. And I kind of feel that there's 2 ways. Try to get behind. If they're playing as complete wing backs, try to get behind the complete wing backs. But in order to do that, you've got to be a little bit more direct. Or you just keep possession and you go with a higher tempo because you don't want to be dwelling on the ball. So you got two options. This one will give you more possession, but it needs a very good passing team, and I'm not sure we are a very good passing team. So I think I'm going with this one. There's no point in playing out from the back because they are going to press high up, and I'm going to actually go up to full match in this one because we're going to see where their press is then. And very often when you play in highlights, you don't get to see these things. It's kind of what Neil was talking about. Not Neil, Pedro was talking about earlier. You don't see the real stuff that's going on if you only play in highlights. And you don't know what highlights the game is going to select. That's the problem. When I played the highlights back for the last Villa game, it started the match at 25 minutes in the highlights. They actually, the first 20 minutes were the hardest part of the game. And so all that was missed in the highlights, and that was how I was able to change what I was doing. What am I doing? So yeah, I think I'm gonna go just for 10 minutes. Do I want to sell him? Xavi Espart. Have we made an offer for him? I don't know why we want to get him in, to be honest. Just cancel the offer. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Atom avoids bringing the ball out of defence. That's brilliant. And that now means I can play him as a central defender. and tell him, I can now tell him to dribble less. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. That was a good call. And well done, Atom. So I'm fairly happy with the team that I've picked. And it's just whether or not I'm doing the right thing. I'm reading Everton without really the necessary information. I know they're going to press. Where on the pitch, I don't know. But we'll find out very early on. Alex Scott is capable of playing, which is good news. So Alex Scott will come in. I think. I just maybe overthinking this, but I think it's important to get this right against Everton. I'm happy with the team. Yeah, I want to be imbalanced. I don't want to hit early crosses. We're not very good in the air unless Morstat is there. And I believe that is how we should be setting up. We've gone back a couple of spaces. João Gomez in particular, don't quite know what's happened to him. But the scouts are saying he's a worse player than he was 10 minutes ago. Fairly happy. I might switch these over. That might be a better option, and you can see that is a better option. So switching those option was a good option. Mane probably needs to play at some point, and I've got plenty of good subs apart from defenders. I don't know what I'll do if Timon is having a poor game, and then we're going to go with this, if he gets really, really tired. I think we'll just, for the moment, we'll pass it. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll have a look. We'll pass it, and then I think that's what we'll do. We'll pass it. And if that doesn't work, we've always got the option of going more direct. But whatever, they're going to sit back. And then when we are in our half, they'll press high up the pitch. I know that. Opposition I'm looking for. And Patterson. Let's turn him onto his left foot. Mikalenko. I'm not going to do anything with him. Haidara, don't think I need to do much with him at all. Left foot will be fine. Garner is their playmaker. Tight mark him and left foot again. Left foot. Left foot. Why is he wanting to hard tackle this geezer who's very brave? He's quite strong. He's a good tackler. I think because he's tired. But I don't think we want to do that. I think it's time to shut up, people. I'm tempted to go with this. Don't listen to a word anyone is saying about us. Focus on ourselves and have some fun today. And the reason why is because it's worked in the past, and they need a little bit of freedom, which is why I've told them they can be a little bit more expressive. So I want them to know, go out, I'm backing you, go out there, have some fun, focus on our own game. But I'm going to stop it immediately. It starts. because I'm going to go just for 10 minutes. I want to see where they're pressing. That's why. I want to see if they're pressing in midfield. I want to see if they're pressing high up. And I want to see, or are they waiting until we come into their half to press us? There's not much of a press going on here, but I actually still don't know yet. Can see the three, whose job it is to stop us playing out. Well, there's not much of a press yet. But there's been nothing to press is the other thing. We, on the other hand, are not pressing, I don't think. No. So why we've got two in pressing positions, I don't know. We've got a fairly big trigger press. So I'm just going to come off that a little bit. Just let them have the ball and bring them out a little bit. Oh, I got it wrong again. I thought we were in blue. We're actually in the pink. In the orange. Is it orange or pink? Orange. That was Everton pressing. So they are not, I don't think, pressing too high. Their press is with the two forwards, which shouldn't really be a problem for us. Which means I could go to the 4-2-3-1 if I feel it's necessary. So there's no press in our half. So keeping the ball is probably my best option. If they were pressing high, I'd probably change it to more direct play. And now we don't need that. We just need to be patient. Keep the ball. Be patient. But in order to break that defense, we're going to have to be patient, but keep the ball, but be playing at a little bit of a higher tempo. Oh, who is that? When I said be more expressive, boys, I didn't mean give it to the opposition. That's not expressing yourself in the way that I want you to. Remember, this is not Banbury now. So we've got to keep that midfield quiet, which we're doing quite nicely. But it's whether or not we can break them down at this, with this short passing and with the tempo we're in. Oh, well, it looks good so far. Let's go into comprehensive highlights. We'll probably lose a lot of the stuff I need to see, but looks good so far. Because I think they're only using those two up front for their press. So they're going to press further back. It's going to be like a man-to-man marking system. Oh, that was a shot and a half, but straight at the goalkeeper. I think that's an example. I don't know if Pedro's still here. But that's an example of how FM Tweak, or as FM Match Lab, have improved the game. The quality of that shot and like the goalkeeper saving it at that pace. That's so much more improved than the vanilla match engine. I even might have to slow the pace down for a little while just to find out if that's better than the high tempo. High tempo, we're not going to have so much possession, which we don't have. Oh, well, we've had the two best chances so far. But I do wonder if the tempo is right, because I really want to have more possession than 38% against a team that's sitting back. I'd accept this if I was playing more direct. Mourinho managing Everton. I've had the three best chances. But it's a cagey affair, and I'm making it a cagey affair. Our free kicks are getting worse and worse. We had an absolutely awful one in the last game as well. They're getting worse and worse. They're trying things and they're just not coming off. Okay, there's not enough highlights for my liking. I'm going to go... Oh, we were in the... I'm going to go to zip it around a little bit more. Keep the passing shorter, zip it around. The pass into space obviously isn't working. You can see their wing backs are high up. And we do need to focus it down the flanks. We need possibly to actually, thinking about it, but definitely focus down the flanks for now. Because both wing backs are very high up the pitch. Very dangerous game they're playing. And in the mid-block, if we draw them out, then there's big spaces down here. And that's why more direct might be better. More direct, very quick. There's big spaces behind their wing backs. That was a throw and a half. Something wrong with that animation. That throw went at about 300 miles an hour. He's got one arm, my goalkeeper, isn't he? Yeah, they're coming into the game now, and I'm thinking it probably needs to be direct. Just go... miss out the midfield, go direct out to the flanks. There's room behind the wing backs, but we're not making the most of it because they've recovered by the time we put our attack together. So we've got to do it quicker. It's got to be a little bit more direct. Like I said, there's different ways to play this system. They're very hard to break down, all of them. Because they've got like 8 players behind the ball all the time, and that's hard to break down without leaving yourselves really vulnerable. I mean, you can do what we did against Banbury and put 6 players forward, but my goodness me, in the Premier League, are you taking a risk doing that? Yeah, you were right. They're coming into the game, and we didn't get tight enough. And he's got to close him down a little bit more. We didn't get tight enough to him. It's unfortunate. I think we've been slightly the better team. We didn't get tight enough to him. And maybe there's a need to get Silver to track him. Still loading out Beto. Their wing-backs are so high up the pitch. And my problem seems to be now is that because we're more direct, we're just giving him the ball. So I'm going to have to go shorter again and trust the higher tempo. Because at the moment, we're just giving them the ball because we can't locate anybody out on the flanks there. Well, it's not looking good here. And the other thing to do is to go into a low block and pull them right out, and then there'll be tons of space behind their wing backs. That might be an idea for the second half. But we're not getting our foot on the ball at all now. And they are just shooting at will. I'm going to come into this low block before half time. And we'll go into a standard line. And just try and see it out to half time now. Atom is not playing well, is it? He's 6.5. He's not. I think that's not Atom's fault. That's my fault. Because the line is wrong. They are absolutely dominant in the game now. What's the possession? It's only 52-48 now. We came back into it, but stopped creating chances. I think we were better when we were playing shorter passing. Oh my goodness me, he's got tons of space. So why are we not using the flanks? Standard line has helped. But it just doesn't look like they're playing in a higher tempo. It looks like they're playing with a low tempo. And Everton are just ruling the roost. Everton are playing at a high tempo. But we need to buck up a little bit when we look like we're playing at a very laboured pace. It's not a high tempo at all. Alex Scott. I don't know quite how to solve this conundrum. The only thing I haven't tried is keep the ball. And then we're not going to be able to use the space is. And play out of defence. I think I have to try and drag them forward. Let's trigger press a little bit more. I'm struggling. I always struggle against these 5-3-2s. Always. I don't know why they're so difficult. Maybe I should play in a 5-3-2 myself. Right, now we've just got to keep the ball away from them and see if we can actually break them down. Some point I might have to go positive. If we can create more chances, we might score because our ratio is good. But at least we've got the ball now by the look of it. Whether we can break them down is another matter. We do have 6 forward. But if we look at it, it looks like a man-to-man marking system that they're going. We're not creating anything. Maybe it's just the personnel. Well, that's no good. I don't know what else to try. We could do that. Simon Banzer. I've actually never heard of Simon Banzer either. Could try that 4-3-2-1 and try it with this system. I don't see much point in counter pressing. They've got too many bodies back there. Or let's go higher up. We can have a standard line. And then let's change some of this personnel. Actually might go positive now. Morstat can come back on. Atom isn't playing very well. So Mane will get his first. I think he definitely needs to be on this side. We'll play him as a ball-playing defender, and we're going to play him also as a ball-playing defender, and we're going to play out of defence rather than the goalkeeper doing it, kicking long. And then Dominguez and Scott. Scott is awful. Scott has been listening to me talking about selling him. Turkish league. I've never actually heard of him. And that's all I can think of to do. We've had a shocker. I wonder if the change of shape will alter anything at all. I don't think it will. At some point I'm just going to have to go very direct. So there's three at the back. It's very easy to play out against a press. There's just too many bodies back there with the two DMs as well. They've got all sorts of options, all sorts of passing lanes. You've just got to sit back and win the ball and then turn it over as fast as you can. There's nothing else you can do apart from that. It's got to go forward quickly, and we've looked like really laboured, like they haven't got any energy left for the rest of the season. Oh, what a chance. How did you miss that? Just got to hope the change of shape does the trick. Still got 20 minutes to go. 25 minutes with time added on. Oh, that was a bad... Oh, goodness sake. What was that? Who was that? Absolute banana. Still not looking good. It's just not creating anything. Let's push it up. Let's ramp the tempo up. It looks like we're playing at 2 miles an hour. It's got a little bit fairly wide. And tell him to run at the defence as well. Do something. And then I need to make sure the goalkeeper... I want him to distribute to the flanks. Or try and ramp it up a little bit here. Seems like that's the way to play. Just sit back, soak it up, and then score from a set piece or score from a simple little cross. Boys. It's not to be this week. Right, well, the only thing I can do now, 1-0 is as good as 2-0. We might as well attack now. I think we've got all the attacking players I can there. Let's have a look at the... He's going to go on attack as well. Let's attack. I think 1-0, 2-0, it doesn't really matter. It's been really poor. Nothing is connecting with our forwards, is it? Nothing. Crosses, passes, nothing. Two more subs to make. Or one more. And no Atom on the pitch now. For the set pieces. What's he doing? He just left it. The other guy was about 20 meters away from it. Ah, you take it. You have a sprint. It doesn't look like they're playing at all. Let's ramp up. I can't do anything about Timon. Let's ramp up the midfield. Let's try. Makengo can come on for Gomez. And Grenbach can come on there. Valesco and Allende can change. Last throw of the dice. Go on, Mostert. Well, not like that, son. He's offside anyway. Ah, what a painful game to watch. We're in comprehensive highlights. There's no highlights. Oh, come on. Goal? Was he offside? It looks like it's given. Well, there you go. We've managed to get a point out of that somehow. There's still time, though. Still 4 minutes to go. We'll stay attacking. We can still do this, boys, but look at the space. Timon's exhausted. That's why I need a wing back to cover. The way this team is playing today makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if if this team, if Banbury hadn't gone down to 10 men, would we have beaten Banbury the way they're playing today? Goodness me. There's going to be another highlight for Everton, unfortunately. That's not the result I was hoping for. But Everton are above us in the table. I guess we got to be happy with a point. Could still lose that point now because we're still attacking. Gamble, I guess that was. Do I go back and hold on to the point, or do I keep attacking? Or this counter-attack could result in a goal. Who knows? We've got men forward. We've got tons of bodies. We have a 5 against 3. It's too slow, Silver. Too slow. But we've still got an overload there. Ah, oh, come on. It was too slow, boys. How many touches do you need? Oh, that should have won the game, that. I'm disappointed. But we didn't create many chances. I'm just disappointed. Yeah, just trust the numbers, will be all right. I thought there was a poor performance. We really need to get 3 points soon because we need to get up the table. Five unbeaten, but we're not winning. We're just drawing. Have we had 5 draws in the Premier League? Like Bristol City was a draw. Then Newcastle was a draw. Spurs was a draw. And now Everton was a draw. We're not winning. We're just drawing. Man United next. But I think I have a plan for Man United. But I think that's going to have to wait until next time. I have a cunning plan for Man United. I think I know how United are going to play. I think I've got a plan for how to deal with it. But that's going to wait until next time. It's not been a great episode. But we're still not far away from mid-table, which is where we're expected to finish. The season preview has us finishing in 12th. The board want a mid-table. We're not far from it. We're drifting. Top 10 is probably out of the question. But we could get 11th or 12th. We've got to start turning these draws into wins. But once again, what's happened is we've disrupted the team. I cannot seem to allow a squad of players to settle together. So now I've got a whole new defence. Before it was a whole new attack. And then before that it was a whole new midfield. I've never had a team that can settle. Someone always disrupts things and we can't have a team that settles. I need to bring in, desperately need, with Finkgraf still out and going to be out for another 2 weeks. Someone's got to cover for Timon. Atom could probably cover for him. And Mane can come into the team. We have to play them now. So that's it for this episode. I know I'm getting internet errors now as well. Thank you for coming, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you're sitting there and haven't liked, give us a like. It always helps the channel. And I'll be back on... What day is it today? I always have problems with the days. I think it's Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. I'll be back on Friday with Sunderland and then on Sunday with Ipswich. So please join me, and don't forget I'm uploading Aston Villa videos as often as I possibly can. There should be one out on Thursday. Unless I can get it done by lunchtime tomorrow, I can get it out for tomorrow. We shall see what time I get up in the morning. But now it's time for a cup of tea and a sandwich. And so I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thanks for coming. Take care and be safe. I really do appreciate all the friendships I've made in here. And some more than others, but I'll get to know all of you in time. Thank you very much for coming along. Be safe. See you soon.